So everybody has to choose at the end of the day, you know. Sometimes we wonder, we sit back and we see, oh, this person was born into a Muslim family and they had a decent upbringing, and, you know, even the family tried to impart, you know, the guidance of Islam on the person, and they end up not practicing or even leaving the faith when they're older. That can happen. That's within the realm of possibilities for what can happen. And then you find somebody who, you know, is the furthest thing from Islam. They have absolutely no exposure to it. And then at some point in their life, they come across it, even in a very, very small and distorted way. And then they end up going down the rabbit hole and becoming a Muslim and, you know, changing their entire lives. Which just goes to show that this thing, it can't be inherited, right? Guidance can't be inherited. It has to be chosen. And who chooses it and who doesn't has to do with the several factors, but probably the most important one is the purity of your heart and your intentions, right? If you're sincerely looking to be guided, Allah is going to guide you, right? No matter how long it takes, or no matter how kind of twisty and turning the road to guidance is, eventually Allah is going to bring you to the right place. Whereas a person who, they have no intention to be guided, you know, they don't really care. You know, they live in sort of the situation of neglect, right? Then this is something else. So why would that person necessarily be deserving of guidance? And Allah gives guidance to whom He wills, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at your heart and sees the person who's ready to receive it and wants to receive it and is yearning for it. And that's something that, you know, a counterpoint to this, or maybe something that would specify this a little bit or show where it doesn't necessarily apply, is one of the beautiful things about Islam is that you don't, and Sheikh Abdullah used to point this out as well, you'll find a lot of people who are very, very educated in other faith traditions becoming Muslims. You'll find Buddhist monks that have become Muslims. You'll find, you know, reverends and pastors and preachers and things like that. People who have PhDs in the Jewish faith or in the Christian faith or various things becoming Muslims. But it's extremely rare. It's extremely rare to ever find somebody who is an actual scholar of Islam, right? Someone with PhDs or master's degrees in Islam leave Islam for something else. Very, very rare. Usually if you see somebody leave Islam, it's someone who doesn't really understand what Islam is in the first place. Somebody with a very, very poor understanding. And this has become a meme, you know, it's like people are now asking people, and even Google's in on the joke, how many rak'ah are in Surah Al-Fatiha, right? And people answer, I don't know, like, oh, I used to do 2, right? Those are the kinds of people that in general leave Islam, or people who experience a sort of very, very overly cultural iteration of Islam, and they have some sort of trauma, you know, from that. But it's extremely rare, you know, to find, if you're talking about the people who have studied at a systematic level the faiths, alhamdulillah, one thing that we can be proud of as Muslims is that it's kind of one directional. You know, a lot of people who study seriously, they find Islam, whereas it's very rare to find somebody who is extremely educated about Islam and then leaves it.